How are you all? I'm talking about a murder of a young woman today, murdered by a friend due to sheer rage of jealousy. Shocked are you? Indeed. For those who are new around here, I post videos on true crime twice a week and also on other interesting social issues that I feel excited to share with you all. Hope you enjoy my video, and if you do, please give me a like and press that subscribe button, guys. Thank you. Let's get into this straight away. Jessica Wongso and Mirna Salihin were both born to wealthy families in Indonesia. Very wealthy families. They arrived in Australia for further study and met at college in Australia and became good friends. They were tight, confided in each other, and loved each other, as good close friends do. Born in Indonesia in 1988, Mirna Salihin was the daughter of businessman Eddie Wayan Salihin. She was a good-looking girl who was a loyal friend to those who knew her. And she wanted to study further and establish a career for herself in the field of artistic creations. You won't believe this, guys, that Jessica Wongso resented Mirna's happiness and success, as she had qualified successfully as a graphic designer and found her dream job, and above all, Mirna had fallen in love with her dream guy, a lovely young Indonesian man by the name of Arif Somako. Jessica Wongso's life, meanwhile, was really going into a downward spiral as she was dating a rough guy, Patrick O'Connor, who was treating her badly. I saw something about him being physically violent towards her. However, Jessica still continued to be in the relationship. Jessica Wongso had also obtained Australian citizenship by this time. She was working in New South Wales, Australia, as a graphic designer too, with New South Wales Ambulance. In 2015, Jessica was clearly suffering from anxiety and depression, and it is said that she had tried to take her life at 5 different occasions. Did she get the help she needed? Probably not. She was obviously deeply mentally unstable. Jessica was sacked from New South Wales Ambulance job in 2015. Meanwhile, Mirna had left Australia and settled in Indonesia with her new husband after the most beautiful wedding ever, which her wealthy parents gave her. The lavish, well-attended wedding was unbelievably a beautiful fairy tale. And guys, Jessica was not invited, as the two friends had gradually begun to drift apart. Guys, I must add here that I have been to a couple of lavish weddings in Indonesia of some of our friends. Wow! You would not believe how extremely opulent these events could be. Lavish does not cut it, guys. I'm looking for another word to describe how gorgeous, how absolutely stunning and heavenly rich Indonesian weddings are. I mean, yes, if the couple belong to wealthy families. My God. Back to the story now, guys. Jessica Wongso must have felt so angry and desperate that her world was spinning totally out of control. Meanwhile, Mirna came to Sydney from Indonesia to visit friends. She made it a point to visit Jessica as well, as Mirna still had a soft spot for Jessica, for her old friend whom she cared about. Mirna, her friends had said later, had been quite keen to catch up with Jessica. As is natural, guys, we all feel quite excited about meeting up and catching up with old friends, even if there had been little differences and misunderstandings. Mirna was concerned about Jessica's rough boyfriend Patrick, who was not a nice guy, and advised Jessica, out of concern, to break it off with this man. Mirna was fairly straightforward, and instead of taking her friend's advice as something that was coming out of concern and care, Jessica Wongso resented Mirna for probably what she thought was like condemning her boyfriend or something. I don't know, guys. Meanwhile, Jessica knew how happy Mirna's life was, and she couldn't bear to feel while her life was enveloped in so much darkness. Marina's life was a joyful one. Jessica Wongso eventually broke up with Patrick. However, she was angry, bitter, and crazily full of hate for Mirna. Mirna and Jessica remained friends, though, after this. But there was sort of resentment and ill feeling building up in Jessica that was slowly taking charge of her emotions, driving her to hate Mirna with a vengeance. As I said before, Jessica was quite unstable mentally and perhaps didn't even realize that hatred was taking control of her. At this point in time of her life, Jessica had been drinking quite a lot as well, and nothing was going her way. And in August 2015, she crashed her car into a nursing home wall in Sydney, but luckily was not hurt badly. She had been driving drunk. Guys, we see how Jessica's feelings of anger, frustration, jealousy must have overwhelmed her as she went totally out of control. Her mental health must have been at such a drastically low level, feeling jealous that she was losing all control of everything while newly wedded Mirna was having a great life, surrounded by her loved ones and enjoying a very happy marriage with her new husband. Again, I'm wondering if anybody intervened and got Jessica the help she badly would have needed at this point. Well, guys, in January 2016, Jessica traveled to Indonesia and caught up with Mirna and kind of was quite pleasant to Mirna. Though Mirna may have been a bit wary of Jessica, she accepted a coffee invitation from Jessica for the 6th of May. Jessica invited Honey Jovita, another Australian college friend, on this coffee date as well, at Olivier, a Swiss cafe in an upmarket Jakarta shopping center. Guys, the day arrives. Now it's 6th of January. Something really odd happens here. Jessica messages both her friends, that is Honey and Mirna, that she ordered their drinks hours before the meeting. That's weird. Jessica's arrival at the cafe was caught on CCTV at 3:30 p.m. This was clearly over an hour and a half before Mirna and Honey were expected to be there. Then, guys, Jessica is seen leaving the restaurant to buy gifts, as she said later, for her two friends. She's seen returning at 4:15 p.m. with 3 large bags, each containing a tiny bottle of liquid soap in each bag. Jessica had been noted for going round the cafe, looking at her table and looking at the CCTV, as if she was wondering if she was looking for a spot where she could avoid being recorded. The camera behind Jessica was obscured by a large indoor plant. But there was another camera on the other side of the table with a clear view to Jessica's table. Then the camera catches her, placing the 3 large bags on the table, obscuring the camera's view, and she orders an iced coffee and 2 other drinks. As I said before, well before her friends arrive. 1 iced coffee, guys, and 2 drinks, something else. It was 4:24 p.m. and the police believe this is when Jessica laced Mirna's drink with cyanide. Despite Jessica's placing the bags on the table to cover the view of the cameras, there are movements happening behind the bags. She's caught on the camera moving the cups, doing something behind the bags with the drinks that were delivered to the table. At 5:16 p.m., as the CCTV shows, Mirna and Honey arrived there. And the iced coffee, which had been waiting for them for 52 minutes on the table, is given to them. And Mirna takes a sip or 2 or probably 3, I don't know, of the iced coffee. Seconds later, after taking a couple of sips from her iced coffee, Mirna was feeling very ill. She complained that the coffee tasted awful. And she's seen asking Honey to try it. And she's seen asking Jessica to try it too. Honey had tried a bit cautiously and agreed it was terrible. Jessica had avoided tasting the coffee, of course. You'll know why later. Guys, this is getting very disturbing now. The CCTV had shown later, minutes after Mirna had taken a few sips, her head was thrown back and she was struggling to breathe probably. And it is said that that was probably the last time she showed any movement. Ambulances were called. Mirna was raced to the hospital where she passed away a little while later in the hospital. The restaurant manager was wondering what was wrong with the coffee they made. And he decided to keep the rest of the coffee as he thought that if there was a mystery behind all this, the drink might help to solve it. 3 days after Mirna's death, the police confirmed that the iced coffee contained a lethal dose of cyanide. Jessica attended Mirna's funeral as she never ever would have thought that she would be caught. She tried to look all kinds of things. She couldn't pretend to be sad. She couldn't even pretend, guys, to look sad because she was caught smiling and giggling by a lot of people who were looking at her. According to the police, cyanide poisoning was the cause of Mirna's death. Obviously, Jessica had been seen by some with a smile on her face as everyone was running around panicking and crying. Everyone thought Jessica looked quite happy, smiling at the camera, talking to the press, etc., enjoying the attention as one of the last people who saw Mirna alive. 3 weeks later, Jessica Wongso was arrested. The Indonesian police also interviewed Jessica's former Australian boss at Ambulance New South Wales, Christy Carter, who said that Jessica was capable of hatred and her craziness was beyond belief, and that her cruel attitude would and could lead her to hurt or even kill another person. Police charged Jessica Kumala Wongso with the murder of Mirna. The case became the most talked about and the most shocking murder case of 2016 in Indonesia, with the Indonesian media covering the case extensively. The ruling of the case was televised on national television and watched by millions of Indonesians. Guys, Jessica, according to my research, is serving a 20-year prison sentence in Indonesia where all her appeals have been rejected. 20 years in a prison in Indonesia. That is where her evil, jealous rage took her. Hope you would give me a like, guys, and please press that subscribe button. Thank you. See you again, guys. Bye.